Welcome back, everyone. In the AI application development using Azure and OpenAI, we're going to talk about the Azure component, the cloud component. Since we are using Azure OpenAI, and I will be hosting this application to Azure, but we essentially now need a couple of services, which I'm going to create one by one to show you, and then I'll come back when we need them for the deployment, right? So let's dive into that. Now, the couple of Azure components. Number one, the Azure OpenAI service. We'll go ahead and create it in front of you so that you experience how it feels like. And then for application, to host the application, basically, we need Azure Container Registry. We could use Docker Hub, which is free, but Azure Container Registry allows you to host the container in Azure. So we'll use that. And then we can host it anywhere. We choose to host it in container apps, which is pretty sleek and quick. Let's now dive into my Azure portal. So if I may go back to the code file, and then I just went ahead and say portal.azure.com and kind of go ahead and wait for the login to happen. Want to make sure that I'm logged in correctly. So I will create a resource. So I'll create a resource group so that I can manage it better, right? And you need a resource group for most of the resources you're going to create. So I'll say that resource group. So this is easy way to find the resource group. And then you just go ahead and say create a resource group. Yeah. And then I just give a name as RG AI dev demo. Okay. Indicates the demo. I choose a resource group location somewhere in the Sweden. And then I just say next, create. It's pretty quick. The resource group will be ready in a moment. So it is ready. So it is empty. Now, the first thing you need Azure OpenAI service. So I'll say Open AI. So that's the Azure OpenAI. If you open that, it shows you the list of OpenAI services I have got. And then I go ahead and create an OpenAI service. I will call it like Azure AI demo. And then I'm going to give a name to that. AOI AI app dev. Okay, just to indicate that. And then I have only option to choose standard 0. I say next. I allow for the all network next, and I hit. Once this is approved, I hit create. So this will be creating. Now, while it is getting created, I can go to my resource group and further create a couple of things. So we'll come back to that. And once this deployment is over, we'll use a couple of things to enable it for my development. So what I need, basically, I need a registry. So I'll say Azure Container registries, and then I will create a registry. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and then give a name to the Azure AI demo dev, and then I give a name to this registry WGACR3. So I'll kind of maintain a smaller one. It says 3 is reused, 4, so it has to be unique, and it's going to go ahead and create Sweden Central, which is the default location for my resource group, by the way. And then I choose standard, basic, premium. So I can choose basic because it's not going to be for living for the longer, neither it'll be used for the production. So I can choose networking, encryption, tags, create, and then I say create. All right. So I've got this done. already, right? And then I'm going to go ahead and create the third component, which is where I'm going to deploy my application. So I'll say container apps. Okay, you can see that it is showing up here. So this is where I can host my application. So I can say that I'm going to go ahead and create the container app, give a name. You can see the resource group is showing up. I say AI app dev container app. Maybe it's a wrong one. It's fine. And then it's showing the deployment source. I need to choose the source code on artifact. So what essentially it is asking now is that when you are creating the container app, it is asking which image you want to bring in and install it. So we'll not create the container app here because right now we do not have an image. What we'll do once we have the image deployed on the Azure Container Registry, so you can see that the AI dev demo is created, registry is created, then we'll point it to the registry and choose that image. Till the time we're not going to create it. But we want to go to the AI resource group and see the AI thing here. So let me just open that. Now this is where I have to copy a couple of information. I have to copy the endpoint, right? So which is an URL basically, and then I have got some keys which I need to copy from here. So I will do that when I start developing that application, right? I need these two things. And then I need also a model, right? Because Azure OpenAI it's the service which we created right now is just a container. You need to say which model you're going to use. So for the model deployment, you can see here it shows under resource management, model deployment. It takes you to a different portal altogether. Out of the Azure portal, it's called OpenAI portal. So Azure OpenAI portal, Azure AI Studio. Now we call it Azure OpenAI Studio, which basically allows you to deploy the model. Now, there are list of models available. Either you choose the base model or you choose the fine-tuned model. So we'll choose the base model, which is supplied automatically, and it will show you the list of models available today for me in my subscription. And I can choose the one like GPT-3.5 Turbo 60K, right? So you have got many different models. So the the lower you go, basically, it shows the older the model is, right? You need to see when that model was created and whether it's the right model. So you can do all those tests here in the Azure OpenAI Studio. We're not going to do that here, but it shows you a little bit of information, right? Training data up to date is on September 2021, pretty old, right? And then we're going to use it because it's just for the demos purpose, and it also not going to live longer, right? But essentially, in a production, you should choose something which is sort of like a more latest one, right? So we'll say confirm, and then you can see it's showing you GPT 3.5 Turbo 16K. That's the deployment name. And then you can see that it is also available quota is now low, in that you can still try to create this deployment but might face issues. So it's kind of indicating that it's not going to perform well. I know that it's like 5K tokens per minute quota available for your deployment. It's all okay because I don't want need more. I can come back and use a different model, but this is the same experience depending on whichever model you choose. So you go ahead and create the deployment, and it's going to go ahead and create the deployment, right? If I now go back to my portal.azure.com and just log in here and then see that whether I have got this uh, Azure Container Registry created. I'll also like to show you the container registry over there. It is created. Now, when we need to connect this container registry, we need to go to the access key and you will see that it shows you the login server name, but you need to enable the admin user. By enabling the admin user, it's going to go ahead and give you the user ID and password, which is you can see the Docker login thing and then log in there. So its password is hidden. So I will leave these information. I need the username, I need the URL, I need the password, which I'll use in my terminal window to do a Docker login and then push the container image to 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 this place, right? So that's where I'm gonna come back later point in time. So with this, I want to end this part. That's part 2 on how you configure the Azure component, right? And then we will go into our Python development in the part 3. Till then, thank you very much. Have a great day.